Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an excellent day today. For this week's video, I'm going to take the cheapest pickup I could find on eBay and install it on our Les Paul. Let's get started. Now the guitar that we're going to use today to install our ultra cheap pickups is our Project Stealth Epiphone Les Paul. If you guys missed that build, I shall put a link to it above. Now when we were doing our initial Stealth build, we installed a used set of Seymour Duncans. We have a JB and a Jazz in this guitar, so it'll be interesting to see what this ultra cheap set sounds like up against these babies. Alright, so let's get on to the fun stuff and see what the inside of the cheapest pickups on eBay look like. Now these are unbranded pickups. They come from China and they took about 2 months to get here. So really interesting. They were on some sort of long and perilous journey, but they did arrive. The bags are branded FLEOR. I think that's just the bag. I don't think it has anything to do with the pickups themselves. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so on the bottom side, we've got our screws and springs, so that's nice. Now, I've never seen a pickup wrapped in foil like this, so whatever, we'll open it up. Sort of feels like I should be opening up a chocolate bar or something like that, but okay, so here we go. Now, as you guys can see, I ordered purple just for fun. They had a bunch of different other colors. Take that off. Yellow and green and red and all that stuff. So anyway, let's take a closer look. It looks like the pull pieces are adjustable. I'll have to take an Allen key and try that out. But other than that, it looks okay. Let's check out the back side here. So I'm hoping N means neck and the other one will have a B for bridge, but we'll open it up and take a look. All right, so here's pickup number 2. Let's turn it over. And yes, it is branded with a B. I'll flip it around here so you guys can see. So here is our bridge pickup. And lastly, we're going to be installing this Obsidian wire solderless kit into our Les Paul. So here's the heart of the Obsidian wire upgrade kit. You get CTS pots, Switchcraft 3-way switch, and of course, the most important thing is our quick connect solderless connections. This makes installing or reinstalling or upgrading pickups in the future an absolute snap. No soldering at all. Really, really cool design. So I'll link to this one in the video description below if you want more information, but let's get to installing. All right, you guys, here's a good look at our upgraded electronics. Nice and neat and clean. I just got to tape up a couple of the pickup wires there. Other than that, we are ready to rock. All right, you guys, I've recorded all our tracks with the Seymour Duncans, and I've gone back and installed our purple pickups. So what we're gonna do is lay down those same riffs with our cheap pickups, compare them back to back, and see which ones you guys like best. Okay, let's start with our high gain sounds, and what we're gonna do is each time we do a riff, we're gonna use less and less gain until we're totally clean. All right, let's start with our high gain sound. Here we go. All right, guitar number 1 was the Seymour Duncans, and guitar number 2 were our cheap pickups. Really interesting. So what we're gonna do is bleed off a little bit of gain and just do some classic rock. Here we go. Okay, guitar number 1 was our Seymour Duncans again, and guitar number 2 was our cheap pickups. Let's bleed off even some more gain and do some old school rock. All right, guitar number 1 was our Seymour Duncans again, and guitar number 2 was our cheap pickups. I'm trying to psych you guys out by doing the same thing every time. I don't know if it's working or not. All right, so now let's go and play totally clean and check that out. Okay, guitar number 1 was the cheap pickups, and guitar number 2 were the Seymour Duncans. Really interesting stuff. And now what we'll do is just play some totally clean arpeggios so you guys can really hear the differences. Let's take a listen. So now what we're going to do is throw this guitar in a mix, do like a little 1-minute solo, see if the neck pickup is bright enough and full enough to sound really great, and see if the bridge pickup has lots of punch and clarity to kind of cut through that mix. So let's take a quick listen to the solo. Here we go. So here are my final thoughts on using inexpensive pickups. First of all, I thought these ones sounded fantastic. So that's great. And like the single coil test we did where I used 3 Strat single coils for 15 bucks, great tones were available there too. Now the expensive ones had a little bit more clarity, but for somebody who wants a warmer bluesy tone, I thought those were great. So along with that Obsidian wire kit, I think the other main factor is a good amp is the great equalizer. It's gonna make, inexpensive pickups sound good, or a mediocre guitar sound great. So that's the other thing to consider if you're only playing through like a little practice amp. Doesn't matter what kind of mods you do to your guitar, or if you put like super high-end pickups in, it's still gonna just sound like a guitar through a cheap crappy amp. But if you invest in a great amp, it's going to make your low-end guitars and your high-end guitars sound great. So those are my final thoughts. If I can find the original listing for these cheap pickups, I'll put them in the video description below if you guys want to check them out. I thought they sounded pretty good. So anyway, the Obsidian wire kit, and if I can find the pickups, it'll all be in the video description below. Tab store, t-shirt store, all that stuff, you can check it out there. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this comparison. Take care.